Welcome back to CBS This Morning. We begin, of course, with the coronavirus because it continues to spread across the world and right here in this country, where a second person has now died. Officials say a man in his 70s died over the weekend at the Evergreen Health Medical Center that's just outside Seattle, Washington. There are now cases of the potentially deadly virus in 12 different states.
And that includes New York, which just confirmed its first case in New York City. Officials say a female healthcare worker in her 30s is isolated in her Manhattan home after contracting the virus in Iran. America is one of at least 67 countries with coronavirus. Italy has been hit especially hard. And Charlie D'Agata is there for us in Rome. Charlie, good morning. What are you seeing?
Good morning. Well, it's kind of what we're not seeing, and that's a ton of tourists outside the Colosseum, which would normally be heaving. Now, hotels are empty, too, and we're now hearing that the first case has been detected here in Rome. Here's what Venice looks like now, not much more than a week after many were aware the coronavirus had arrived. The number of cases in Italy soared by 50% on Sunday to more than 1,700. People have even been worried about the health of Pope Francis, who had to pause to cough a couple of times during yesterday's prayers. Vatican officials tell us His Holiness just has a pretty bad cold. At a time where many people are a little bit worried about gathering in large crowds for fear of spreading the virus, the numbers here seem a lot lighter than usual. When the U.S. State Department upped the travel advisory here to its highest level, Rosemary McMillan from Nebraska faced calls from parents at her daughter's school.
I had parents calling me and saying, well, what are your contingency plans for when you arrive back? Like we were going to put ourselves in quarantine. And I was just like, no, that's not the way it's going to work.
In Paris, the Louvre shut its doors over staff concerns. The health minister suggested people stop kissing when they meet, though marathon runners defied a ban on events larger than 5,000 people. In Germany, Chancellor Angela Merkel had a handshake turned down. For today's election, Israel has set up voting stations for those in quarantine with staff in full hazmat gear. But outside of China, nowhere has been hit harder than South Korea, where cases keep climbing, now at more than 4,300 people. Now, most people we've spoken to here say the hype has been overblown, but we met a couple who arrived here off a cruise from Ireland. They tried to buy some hand sanitizer like this, about this size. They were told it was